What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright, so what we finna be doing on this cut is we're doing a number 2 on the sides, high taper. We are leaving the length on top. He cut his hair last time he was we cut the top last time he was in the shop. He decided he liked the way the length looked on it now, so he decided to leave the top alone. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just debulking the sides. I'm going over everything on the sides with a number 4 guard, and what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be doing some of that fade down technique to that number 2. So yeah, I'm just starting off with my number 4, and as you can see here, guys, I'm floating that clipper up and away. That way I don't leave a harsh line. Basically it's not gonna leave any line, but that's why I'm using that float, I guess you can say that float method, just so the sides fade into the top. And as you can see here, I am using that comb to feed this hair in the back into that clipper. His hair in the back just kept going up when I was going over it, so I decided to use that comb to push that hair into the clipper. And once I'm done with this step, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the same exact thing, but with my number 3 guard. So here is that number 3 guard, and I'm just coming right below what I did with that number 4. And if I do happen to leave any lines in here, guys, I can just always go back to my previous guard. That's the good thing about the fade down technique. You know, I started with my 4, now that I'm with my 3, if I see any lines in there that I created with this 3, I can either adjust that lever or go back to that number 4 guard. Here is my number 2 guard, and we're doing the same thing, coming right below what we just did with that number 3, and same rules apply here, guys. If I leave a line, I can either adjust that lever or I can come with my previous guard, which was that number 3 guard, to help clean any of that up. This is going to be the desired length that we're going with on the sides. He is getting that number 2, so I'm just doing that all the way around, making sure it's nice and consistent and make sure everything is down to that length. I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy AB. Man, I appreciate you for coming here, coming to the shop, bro. I've been cutting his hair for a good minute. I want to say about 4 or 5 years. And every time he's in the shop, man, we have a good time. As y'all can see, he was laughing his ass off a little while ago. But yeah, man, we have a good time when we're in the shop. All right, let's get back into this haircut. I got my absolute hitters, and what I'm doing is I'm setting my initial bald guideline for this taper. And as you can see, I took off the whole C cup, and I just did that line at a diagonal angle towards the top of his ear. Cleaning all that up, and since I have the trimmers in my hand, I'm gonna go ahead and line him up behind the ear. Now remember, guys, you don't have to do this part now. Like I said, I just like to do it because I have the trimmers in my hand, and for me it helps me see what's going on with this haircut a little better. So that's the main reason why I like to do this part of the lineup now. Now I'm going in with that Uno shaver and taking all that down the skin. Now we're actually getting into some fade work. I got my Wahl Seniors lever is all the way open, and I'm gonna be coming up about 3/4 of an inch. And once that section is set in there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to fade that section out, meaning I'm gonna close my lever halfway, come right below what I just did with that lever all the way open, and then I'm gonna close my lever little by little and attack that bottom line. And for the most part, this should take most of that line out. And if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. I can always come back later with my trimmers and hit that line if I need to. Alright, so my next step, I'm taking my number 1 guard. My lever is all the way open. I'm coming up another section. I'm going to be doing the same exact thing, meaning I'm starting with my lever open, and then I'm going to adjust my lever closed little by little to try to take out that bottom line. And as you can see, I am using a flick out motion, and the reason for, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but I am doing more of a flick out motion on this haircut than I tend to do. And the reason for that is because I know he has a number 4 on the top of this area right here, and a number 2 towards the bottom. So I just want to make it a little easier for me to fade in. Now I'm going in with my 1.5 guard. Same thing, guys, lever all the way open. I'm coming up a section, using that flick out motion, and then I'm gonna adjust that lever close basically to get that bottom of that line out. And as you can see right here, I'm going behind the ear. You know, I hate when I leave dark spots behind the ear, or when I see tapers with darkness behind the ear, so I like to go behind the ear with a shorter guard, and this is my 1.5 guard. And as y'all can see, I'm just doing some lever play to clean this up. So I'm going back in with my number 1 guard. Now you don't have to do this now, but for whatever reason I decided to go back. Basically I'm just backtracking a little bit and cleaning up that area because I didn't like the way it looked. So now I'm taking my number 4 guard. I know my number 4 guard is the biggest clipper that I used, so I'm just going back over all this area, basically just cleaning all that up and still making sure it fades into the top pretty good. And then I'm gonna do some more fade down techniques. So I started with that 4, now I'm taking that 3 and I'm cleaning all that area up, and then I'm gonna come back in with my number 2 guard, and for the most part that should bring this taper together, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna detail it some more. So here's my number 2. I started with my lever open, and then I adjusted my lever closed, and I'm just basically tapping these dark areas trying to make this taper come together. Now I'm going back in with my number 1.5 guard. Still not can't even talk properly. What I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just detailing what I did earlier. I know I already hit that with that number 1.5 guard, but I decided to do some small detail work to clean it up, and now I'm going back in with my number 1 guard again, and I'm just doing some lever play, adjusting that lever open and closed, basically to get the desired look that I'm looking for. And you can do as much detail work as you need to get these blends to come out good. You know, I just do it till I feel it's needed. Now what I'm doing is I'm starting on this lineup, and as y'all can see, I did start off in the middle of his head, and I'm just moving my way over to the side of the head that we cut. Try to make that as crisp as possible, make that point nice and pointy, and then we're gonna turn the clipper and we're gonna hit that vertical bar. And I do this because this helps me see this blend a little better. So once this line is there, I feel like I can see any imperfections that are there. I feel like I can see them a little better once I put this line in there. And once again, guys, you do not have to do this step now. You could move on to the opposite side of the taper, and then at the very end decide to line them up and then detail. But I just like to do this now. I like to have like a fully finished side on my haircut just so I can see exactly what it's looking like. And now what I'm doing now is I'm just detailing it some more. And when you detail, guys, you can use whatever guards you feel you need. You can go from your 1 guard to your 2 guard to your half guard. You know, whatever order you want to go in. Just whenever you see a dark spot, just try to hit that up with a clip. And then if you need to come back in with a bigger clip or a smaller clip, go right ahead and, you know, just tap that line and just try to get them dark spots to disappear. So now moving on to the opposite side of his haircut. Obviously we're gonna be doing the same exact thing. So I started off with my trimmer, I lined them up behind the ear, set my bald guideline in, and now I'm just fading up. Unfortunately, this was a horrible angle. You know, I really apologize for this angle, guys. I don't know, like I've done tapers before, and I thought this was the angle that I used for it to come out good, but I just think I had the camera too low, so all you see really is my tattoo in my elbow. But like I said, guys, I decided to leave it in just so y'all can see kind of what's going on. And just so y'all know, I'm basically gonna be doing the same exact steps, except for when it comes to detailing. I might detail slightly different, but for the most part, I started with my clipper open, you know, faded that down, put my number 1 guard on there, faded that down, put my number 1.5 guard on there, faded that down. Now I'm with my number 4, and I'm gonna do some down fading until it meets that 1.5, and then detail some more. So I really hope y'all appreciate this content, guys. I really hope y'all liking it. I'm just trying to do some different stuff. If y'all been rocking with your boy, y'all see that I put out a reaction video, and me and my wife also did like a little game type deal. So if y'all haven't checked those out yet, please head over to my channel and check those videos out. Also, if you like this video, please smash that like button. Like, real talk, man. Like, I'm trying to do what y'all asking for, and y'all said y'all wanted some tutorials with the Wahls and the JRLs. So my previous haircut tutorial, I was using the JRLs. now I'm using the Wahl Seniors. So I'm just trying, like I said, I'm just trying to give y'all what y'all want. So I hope y'all enjoying it, and I hope y'all appreciate it, because I really appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Alright, so let's get back to this haircut. As y'all can see, I'm doing the back of this taper now. And since we are doing a high taper, as y'all can see, I'm coming up pretty high, basically to the bottom of that earlobe. But it is taking a good amount of hair off. And now I'm coming back in with that shaver, taking all that down the skin, and then I'm going to fade this up. And we're going to be doing the same exact steps, guys. So I'm starting with my clipper open. And I might be coming up a little higher on the back, so instead of 3/4 of an inch, it may be about an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then I'm gonna fade that down. So clipper open, clipper halfway closed, and then clipper all the way closed to get that line out. And then I might just do some slight detail work within this section just to clean it up a little bit if needed. Well, it is needed, so that's basically what I'm doing now. I'm just adjusting that lever as needed to take away some of these dark spots, just so I don't have to come back and do a lot of detail work at the end of the cut. And just a little disclaimer, guys, most of the time back tapers, it's kind of like the same thing how I said with fades. The back is always a little harder, not because, well, I guess it is the way the hair grows, but also, we have the occipital bone, and then we have other bones back there that pop out. Some clients have like dents or ridges in their hair may grow a little differently. So from my experience, a lot of times the back of the taper, or the back of the fade for that matter, tends to be a little harder. So sometimes it takes me a little longer, sometimes it doesn't, but we still trying to get this done. So as y'all can see, the haircut's coming together. I'm using that 1.5 guard, basically just fading this taper into the number 2. Now I'm going back over everything with that number 2 just to make sure everything is down to that length and make sure it looks nice and cleaned up, and basically make sure this fade is coming together and it just flows all together all nice and just looks, just looks fire. So now, as y'all can see, I'm going in with my razor. I'm just going over everything I did with my trimmers, making them lines nice and crisp. So as y'all can see, I'm making sure I stretch that skin. You want to stretch that skin tight, that way it lessens the chance of nicking your client. And once we are done with this, we are going to add some enhancements to this cut just to make this haircut pop a little bit. You already saw the haircut, y'all know it really didn't need it, but we're just trying to take this cut to the next level. But however, before that, we actually put in some products in his hair. I'm putting some pomade, just combing it back. He likes to, brush his hair back or push it back a little bit. And I'm putting this in there now just so I can see how the hair lays. And as you can see, so I can do some small detail work to clean up all that. Because I want to see how the hair is actually laying, because this is how he's going to wear his hair. So I need to make sure it's cut good that way. So all I'm doing now is detailing this top of the fade with my blending shears, making sure it looks good. I did that for that reason, and because I wanted to push that hair out of his face. That way I can see his lineup, make sure it's nice and straight, and it makes it easier for me to add my enhancements. And remember, guys, when I do my enhancements, I don't try to overdo it. As you can see, I'm holding the gun, pretty far away from his head, and I just do it that way because I just want a little bit of paint on there to make it look nice and crispy, but I don't want to make it look fake. Alright guys, so this is how my boy AB came into the shop looking. He needed a haircut, it had been a while, and this is the after look. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this cut in the comments, guys. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Y'all know how I'm doing it, man. I got some more content dropping. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all do all that good stuff. Comment down below. Share this with your friends. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this cut, man. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time, let's go.